I love Banshee. You probably would know that already if you've been watching my videos, but today I'm going to do my full comprehensive guide on how to build her and where to put her and what she does, how she does it, and all of that really good stuff. Seriously, there is no other hero like her in the game. She is literally the only specific support hero. Yeah, there's other ones, but they're mainly heroes that are healers, plus they might do something else intertwined, but they're mainly a healer. So let's get in and have a look at my girl. So here's my girl in all of her glory. Look at that burning passion just to seduce you and drop your attack and defense. Because that is what she does. She is just amazing at what she does. It is just consistent. You don't even know she's there, but she is helping you so much. So we'll go through her skills. Her basic attack, it's just 100% of attack to a nearby enemy. Normal distance. This is pretty standard for a basic skill. As you can see, I haven't chose any training to level that up. The skill, on the other hand, it's a passive. So this is happening all the time. All enemies' attack and defense is reduced by 18%. That is massive. When you get these huge bosses with massive amounts of HP or defense and attack, that is a massive drop. Nearly 1/5 of their attack and defense is gone. That is huge. So this is why I love her so much and why I bring her in rather than 2 damage dealers, which a lot of people, if you don't have Banshee, I feel like that's the way you got to go. You kind of have to have 2 damage dealers. I've tried both. I get much more success out of having Banshee than 2 damage dealers. Her ultimate skill transfers the hatred of vengeful spirits, increasing the attack by 37.5%. This is at level 5, and greatly increasing critical for all allies for 12 seconds. That is massive. Absolutely massive. And her cooldown time, I don't know if you can see the actual cooldown time anywhere, which sucks, because it would be nice to see what that cooldown time was to see how quickly you can actually get that back up. It's obviously going to be down for a certain amount of time, but you know, it's pretty good, to be honest. So when I look in my training, as you can see, it's nearly all skill ups. Like, skill up is what you want. You don't really need attack, because nothing scales off attack except your basic damage. Okay? You don't need to build attack at all. Skill and ultimate skill is what you are looking for in training. Just whenever you get one of those, pick it. Seriously, this other stuff, it does not matter at all. The only really thing when you're in battle that you might want as well is just some defense and HP. As you can see, I've got no defense at all, but she's going to be sitting in the back line. I'll show you where I sit it in my team very soon and why. So with that being said, she's very easy to build out. You're not looking for any stats. Realistically, she's the easiest character in the game to build. She doesn't help you with anything other than her passage and her ultimate, and nothing scales off that. This is why she is so good. She's so cheap to build. Yes, she might die straight away because she's got no defense and no HP there, like absolutely none. But she's not getting attacked all the time. And if she is the person that dies at first because they blink to the back, you move her to either side. So when I build up, I'm literally just throwing my throwaway weapons and armors and boots and everything from my tanks and that. Once I get a new gold piece or a new purple piece and I take that off, I just throw that straight onto Banshee right here. So she gets a 7 up. Critical penetration does not matter at all. Dodge. Dodge is nice to have because if she does get attacked, it misses. Dodge again. Down here, this ultimate attack multiplier, I'm not sure if that even affects her at all because she's not attacking with it. So down here, you're going to want defense with block damage. I just don't have that many earrings. I don't even have a ring to put on her. And my armor is literally just not leveled up at all. Nothing's leveled up. So as soon as you get Banshee, literally just put it into your team. Yes, I do have 2 stars on her because I got a second copy of her. It does raise her up like a fair bit, but still, even at base rate, she is straight into your team. She is amazing. So let's talk about the gods to put on her. As you can see, at the moment, I've got Artemis. I have a video on why I have Artemis and Sakith, I think it is, Scathi in my team because they synergize so well. And I have her with Artemis because her attack is fairly high, like 5,500. That's like pretty good. If I have a look at my other heroes, like his attack is 12,000. That's absurd. But it is that high because I have Poseidon on him, and I need Poseidon on him just because Poseidon and him synergize so well. Go to my tank. I have Scathi on that because she helps with the tank. He's going to have many heroes around him, and his attack's lower than hers anyway, so that doesn't work. Go to my healer. Her attack's lower, so there's no use putting it on her. And she needs this healing stuff anyway, because it's defense of humans and HP is increased. Like, all of that kind of works with her. And my damage dealer has tier because this is absolutely absurd. 38% for every time you summon it. Demons go better, attack speed and MS go up, and crit damage, their attack goes up. Like, this is perfect for the Duke of Darkness. So really the only hero I had left to put Artemis onto is Banshee. And that's not really that bad, because if we have a look at how Artemis works, this shoots an arrow of moonlight dealing true damage equal to 700% of attack to the enemy with the highest defense. The enemy hit by the arrow will have their attack speed and movement speed reduced by 39% for 15 seconds. This, down the bottom, the attack speed reduced, is why this is so good, but 700% of the attack, when the attack it is at 5,500, that is a huge piece of action. If I wanted to get the most out of Artemis's move, yes, I could switch Poseidon onto her, come over here. His attack has now gone down by like 4,000, which I don't like. But this attack is going to hit for more because it's at 9,000. But I think that is not the way to play it, because I really want my Orc with higher attack, because he's going to be hitting more often than not by himself, not by the god. So I think him being up at 12,000 attack is much more suited than having Artemis have more attack and defense and whatever. It's not worth it. So that's the hero. Building her, literally put whatever your best last pieces of gear onto her. If you can get some defense, some block, and some dodge in there, fine, perfect. But it's not really that necessary. Artemis works really well with her. There is probably other gods that synergize with her better, but I need Artemis in my team. That is why I've gotten so far into this game, because of Artemis and Scathy. So she needs to have Artemis on there for me. Let me know down the bottom which god you have put in with Banshee, if you do have her, because all the others don't really synergize that well, to be honest. Like maybe one of these new ones with this deadly poison. So this cat one would be really good, because it is 40% of the hero's attack before returning to the side. And there's more. Reducing attack and reducing defense, you're dropping it even more. That cat one would go really well with Banshee, and if I did do that, then I'd move Artemis to my healer, because I hardly ever use this Aphrodite heal anyway, and her attack's okay, I guess. If I switch it with this one right here, she goes 4,700, so it does go up a little bit. It's still not like overly amazing. To be honest, you need to have Artemis in your team if you're looking at progressing in this game, like as a free-to-player, I believe. So as I said, she's super easy to build, but when I go to place her in a team, I like the middle of the back. Any of the back works, it doesn't matter, but if you are failing on a level and you see that she dies first, just go in and change the positions. She needs to last a long time. The longer that she is alive, the longer the passive is alive, and you have better chance of winning that battle. Simple as that. So this is how I set up my team. If you watched my channel before, we got melee, we got tank, we got damage dealer, we got support and healer. All right, we're going to run through one battle, and I'm going to show you when and where and how I kind of use her ultimate. I feel like this is probably the most important thing about her whole kit. Like, you don't want to waste it on wave 1 or 2. Well, you should get through wave 1, as you can watch in this one. Realistically, I literally only use my Duke of Darkness. Like, I get him up with my tier. Obviously, no one has the same team, so yours might be a little bit different. But when there's one left like that, I don't even worry about using her ultimate. On this one, I'm going to use her ultimate now, and I use it first. And then I go through and use all of my other characters' abilities, because I know that was a high defensive opponent there, and it was going to take some time. As you can see, it's not always the best, because you get to your last round, which is going to be your hardest one, and it's not up ready. I wait till it's ready, bang, then I hit Poseidon, then I come back and I hit all my other characters, and then when there's only really that one last one left, which it didn't hit her anyway, that sucked, then I used my big arrow on her onto the final boss. So why I do it that way? Why do I do her first? Because her ultimate is raising your attack, raising your critical. So if you do her before you do your rest of your team's ultimate, they're going to hit harder, they're going to have more chance to crit, and because most of the gods are scaled off their hero's attack, then if you are raising their attack with Banshee, that means they're going to hit harder as well. So Banshee needs to be saved up, used first, and then you cascade down and use the rest of your hero's abilities. So to be honest, I don't know if there's much more to talk about Banshee. Seriously, there isn't any support hero in the game that you can switch out for her. If we have a quick look at all these support heroes down the bottom, we've got all heals. We've got all heals. We have deals true damage, which is pretty good. Generates poison damage. Pretty good, but it still doesn't do what we want. Heals and a crappy little attack, not worth it. All heals. Heals, and heals one ally for 200% of attack, and poisons one enemy, causing damage. Nope. And heals, and this guy attacks the whole time, but it summons Skeleton Totem, and that lasts for 30 seconds. Decreases the attack of all enemies equal to 10% of the Skeleton Summoner's attack, and increases attack of all allies excluding him. Not too bad. Summons 2 Skeleton Soldiers with stats equal to 40%. So, if you have this Skeleton Summoner, this is probably a good one to switch it with. Yes, it doesn't do the same, but it does drop down the attack by 10% when you do the ultimate. Hers is at all times because that skill is a passive. I'm going to take Banshee over all these other support heroes, to be honest. She is the best support in the game. She looks really good, and I'm taking it every day of the week.